Hello. You're watching the live broadcast of GTRAD's Europa Orbital Flight Test 2. I'm your host, Quingo, a deputy administrator and head of media here at GTRAD. Live on your screen right now is a view of Launch Complex 42B. On the pad there is GTRAD's new Crew Launch Vehicle, be carrying the Europa capsule, carrying 3 astronauts to orbit and eventually to the Ares Exploration Research Station. Currently, right now, the crew are going through their final medical checks and are being handed over to the launch team. Today's mission marks Europa's second test flight and the first flight with crew on board. We're about 43 minutes from liftoff. Once the crew is handed over to the launch team, they have a series of milestones that they need to complete before they go to launch. First one is suit up. The suit up room is located inside the astronauts checkout facility. This is where astronauts will get into their spacesuits before heading out to the launch pad. From there, we have what is called crew walkout. So once the suit up is complete, the astronauts will leave the building for final goodbyes before they head out to the pad. You're looking at a view inside of the suit-up room. This is where the flight crew is currently being checked out and fitted with their suits before they walk out and head to the launch pad. Starting from the left side of your screen, you see the 3 astronauts. Commander Koda making his 5th trip to space, his first commanding a mission. Following him is Ella, Mission Specialist 2. And then on the very right of your screen is Mission Specialist 1, Dutch builder, representing Celestial Space Corporation on this joint mission. That is our 3 astronauts for today. Coming up shortly, they will be performing their walkout. As I said earlier,
but they are also frontline soldiers in the world's most dangerous war zones.
Okay. Thanks for that. Yeah, but as I said, they will be doing walkout. So, again, that is where they will walk out of this astronaut complex outside and be transported to the launch pad. Once at the launch pad, the crew will go up the service structure in order to board the spacecraft in a progress that we call ingress. During the ingress, the team will run a series of checks to make sure that the suits, spacecraft, and other life support systems are all functioning properly. After all vehicle and crew checkouts are completed, the closeout team will close the hatch with our astronauts safely inside. About 10 minutes before launch, the crew access arm, that long walkway that the astronauts use to board Europa, will retract, followed shortly thereafter by arming of the launch escape system. A reminder that at T-minus 10 minutes, we will have a planned hold that is for the launch team to do final checkouts and perform a readiness poll. You see our flight crew putting on their helmets. Final piece of the suit coming together. Why is Crew is currently performing checkouts on the suit, passing their final leak checks, make sure that the suit is functioning properly, that it has no leaks. Currently looking good. Crew will perform their workout in the next few minutes. Having final words with the suit-up team as they prepare to leave the building. Again, starting from the left, we have our commander, our mission specialist 2, and then our mission specialist 1. On those two people in the white shirt and the blue shirt, white shirt with the hat, that is Chris. He is the founder and CEO of GTRAD. On the right is Amara, the administrator of the State Space Agency of Ukraine and the head of the astronaut office here at GTRAD. Crew is ready to go, ready to walk out. A few minutes, they will get up and walk out of the building, load onto a truck, and then be transported to the launch pad. Up with me now is Xavier. Uh, he will be the second host here. Hello, Xavier.
Good afternoon, Wingo. Thank you for having me. I am Xavier, the main one of the main administrators for GTRAD, and I'm quite excited for this launch today. This is a long time coming.
Hell yeah. Um, you are also the owner of GSSD. Could you tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing today for this mission?
GST will be one of the collaborations with GTRAD with this mission. Later on in the day as well, we would also have something with GTRAD. But that'll be later down in the timeline. Yeah, we were a sub company. If I can talk about a little bit of how we became, of how we are one with GTRAD. We were a sub of GTRAD originally, but became our own company after a couple of business decisions, and now we're very strong ally with GTRAD. We have a lot of plans in the future and moon mission plans, but that'll be later down the road. Stay tuned, and yeah, we are very excited to have our equipment and stuff on board and to collaborate with each other today on this great evening.
Yeah, as a reminder, uh, GTRAD, or not GTRAD, GSSD will be launching their Europa docking target vehicle on their ninth real launch today. Currently, a few minutes away from walkout still. Astronauts performing their final checkouts. Um, that is what is currently happening.
As we wait for our crew to make their way over to the pad, Quingo, would you like to tell us about this launch vehicle and how it came to be?
Oh yeah, this launch vehicle, it's called GTRAD's CLV. I like to call it Gary's, but it's not official. Uh, this rocket it's a bit different than our usual GSAR. GSAR is what launched the first orbital test flight. Um, it is a self-fuel first stage, and then it uses the same second stage that GSAR does use. Sorry, helicopter.
Yeah, that's fine. It's quite interesting. It reminds me of NASA's old concept for crew launches with their older constellation program.
Yeah, that's why I love. That's why I like to call it Gary's. It kind of reminds me of it, but yeah, that is what we'll be launching our crew today. First stage, solid motor ignites on liftoff, carries the crew to the high atmosphere where that separates, and then the second stage, liquid fuel takes over. The flight plan for today is that. So once the crew reaches orbit, that will be uh, following a one burn of the second stage. They will be performing their checkouts on orbit, and then around, I forgot what time it was, but sooner, the target vehicle from Rio will launch from Rodriguez Key, Florida. It will then, uh, sorry, the capsule will then make its way to the target vehicle, and it will practice docking procedures with that. So this is a full test of the capsule and its and the crew, how they perform, rendezvousing and docking with a in-space target.
Yeah, quite exciting, especially for this kind of time. A lot will be happening today on the oncoming hours, so you can check on our social medias, both GTRAD and GSSD, on updates on whatever the vehicle is doing in space. But yeah, it's very quite exciting. Uh, can't can't wait to see this shit work out.
Yeah, very exciting. We're gonna have a very fun launch today. Yeah, that's basically what's going on. I'm awaiting notice of when the astronauts are going to be leaving the complex. You see there's some vehicles parked out front. Perfect, on time. Crew is getting up out of their seats, preparing to walk out of the building.
They're gonna make their way down out of the clean room.
Currently waiting for the crew to walk out of the astronaut complex. There you see head of the astronaut office. There they are. So first in line was Koda, our commander for this mission. Mission Specialist 1, Dutch builder. And there's Mission Specialist 2, Ella. Flight crew now outside of the astronaut complex, in their transport vehicles, about to make their way out to the pad. This drive will take only a few minutes. After that, the crew will, after they arrive at the pad, they will go up the service structure, across the access arm and into the Europa capsule. There they are, they're moving. So the transport vehicles now driving. Or farming. Hell yeah. Alright, there you see them driving down the main road, making their way over to the launch pad. All 3 astronauts and the closeout team.
Oh, look at that pad. Very beautiful. Very nice day to launch, honestly.
Yes, it is a very, very beautiful day for a launch, especially a launch like this. Very exciting.
Very excited. And I think we should have pretty good weather for the rest of the day.
Seems like it. Ooh. You see the flight crew and closeout crew down at the pad.
There's a crew now making their way into the elevator.
Crew now up the service tower, currently making their way to the access arm. Crossing that access arm. There you see the hatch is open. Slight view inside of the capsule there. You'll be entering in the order of the seats. So on the very left of the capsule, if you are facing in the direction that the astronauts will be sitting, that will be Mission Specialist 2 on the very end. The commander in the middle, and then Mission Specialist 1 on the other end, on the right side. And our first astronaut is inside. Commander now making his way. Last one, Mission Specialist 1. All inside the capsule now. Currently performing final checkouts of the capsule before they will close the hatch and make their way off of the pad. Currently have favorable weather conditions. Not many clouds in the air, which is very good. Some high-level wind gusts, but overall pretty good. We're about a 90% favorability margin for the opening of the window. You see the hatch is closing. They're checking the seals on that hatch, making sure that it is closed, locked, and sealed properly. Currently 26 degrees centigrade. That is about 78 degrees Fahrenheit down at the launch pad. Very sunny Sunday down there in Florida. Launch teams are now moving down the server structure, leaving the launch complex. That crew access arm will retract in the next about 2 minutes if we are still on schedule, which we appear to be.
And the crew is now departing the pad. Or ground staff, I should say.
Yes, launch teams have left the pad, making their way to a safe distance from the launch pad. Launch pad is now cleared. Coming up soon, we will have a retraction of that crew access arm. There it is. So you see on your screen the retraction of that crew access arm. Now moved and locked away from the launch pad. We've passed T-minus 10 minutes. I apologize for that. We do have a planned hold over here. So T-minus 10 minutes, the clock is paused for a planned hold. That is for the launch teams to go through their final readiness polls.
Right, as Wingo said, this is a plan hold. This is what is in the timeline, so nothing out of the ordinary for us.
At this time, we are green across the board for flight, lifting the pre-installed 10-minute hold.
Clock has started running again. Currently counting down past T minus 10 minutes. We heard that all teams are green across the board. Currently past 8 minutes. Again, we heard the go no go poll. Or no, we did not hear the go no go poll, but we heard the uh, call out that all flight teams are green. That was from the launch director. So that means all stations did report go for launch. At this point, the launch vehicle is preparing to transition from the ground power to its internal batteries. So the flight computer on Europa will take control. The flight stack is currently verifying its software, configuring itself for internal control. Verifying that once we go into the terminal count, the vehicle is ready to fly itself.
Europa, do you read? Europa, do you read?
Europa copies.
Europa, check your flight systems and load BFS.
Roger, check flight systems and load BFS. Flight systems go, BFS loaded.
Roger.
Just passed 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
Europa, do you read?
Europa reads.
Europa arm launch escape system.
Roger, flight arm launch escape system. Launch escape system has been armed.
Roger.
Launch escape system, that is the contingency system that pulls the vehicle away from the rocket in case of emergency. Flight termination system is armed and green. Critical range safety system allows the ground or the vehicle itself to terminate the flight if something goes off nominal. Still redundant, both power chains checking out as active and green. Now past T-minus 3 minutes, 3 minutes from launch. Currently Europa is transitioning to internal power. Ground power is being disconnected. Now in terminal count.
Range is green. Oh, my bad.
At this moment, we are go for launch, green across the board again. Range is green. We're ready for an exciting launch today.
Liftoff of the GTRAD Crew Launch Vehicle carrying the Europa capsule on the Orbital Flight Test 2. Europa and her crew now on their way to space. First stage is burning nominally.
One Bravo.
1 Bravo. Roger.
We have call it for 1 Bravo. That is the first abort mode contingency. Or, sorry, second. There we have burnout of the first stage.
Europa, booster burnout, nominal trajectory.
Roger, flight booster burnout. Second stage ignition has been confirmed. 2 Alpha.
2 Alpha, roger.
You saw separation of the first stage. And ignition of the second stage. Rocket still on its way to orbit. The liquid fueled second stage taking over control, taking over the flight. First stage now out of business. Second
Europa,
stage.
second stage performance looking nominal.
Roger, second stage performance nominal.
Europa throttle down. Europa, Seco confirmed.
Roger that flight. Seco has been confirmed. Launch escape system has been disarmed.
Launch escape system has been disarmed. Expect capsule Justin.
Roger.
We just heard the first words in orbit. Our mission director congratulating the crew on their successful flight to space. That nose cone is opened, exposing the docking system as the vehicle is entering its on-orbit checkouts. Eventually it will meet up with a target vehicle launched on board the GSSD's RIA.
Europa mission director,
Europa copies.
go ahead and turn off your survival pyros. We will no longer need those.
Roger, turning off pyros. Pyros have been turned off.
Roger. You are also go ahead and turn on your RCS system. Stand by on that. We will not need to use them yet, but go ahead and turn them on.
Turning on RCS systems.
Roger. Stand by.
Thrusters active.
There's the view inside of the capsule. Our 3 astronauts now in space. Again, starting from the left of your screen, Dutch builder, Mission Specialist 1. In the middle, Koda, our commander. This is his 5th flight to space. And then on the very right, we have Ella. That is the Mission Specialist 2. All 3 flight crew in there on your screen right now, currently in orbit. But yeah, wonderful debut flight of GTRAD's Crew Launch Vehicle. Crew is now in space performing their onboard checkouts. Well, that might just about wrap it up for me here. Wonderful launch of Europa, wonderful launch of the Crew Launch Vehicle. But since that seems to be the end of our operations down here, I will be wrapping this up. Xavier, is there anything you would like to say?
No, picture perfect textbook launch. I'm very happy that we made it to orbit. And yeah, we will discuss later on everything on our social medias on Twitter. So just stay tuned and make sure to follow us.
Hell yeah. Make sure to join the GTRAD Discord server, linked in the description below. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Congratulations, GTRAD, the astronauts, and all the people in between for this amazing launch. It has been amazing streaming this, been amazing building up to this. But right now, I will end this. So I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Quingo, joined alongside with Xavier. And we'll see you later.
Bye bye.